Welcome to Own the Chaos. The stock market is crazy and chaotic.
And crash. You son of
Oh, God. Hold on. Pause.
Brad and Fat Man Zoom are here to help you own it.
They were targeting Wall Street when they should have been targeting Capitol Hill. They should have been targeting DC. This is the same thing, and this is what people keep missing.
Taking it to the suits, being relatable and hilarious.
You bought GameStop at 400, didn't you? To the moon, baby. To the moon.
Get ready to own the chaos in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. That is Fat Man Zoom. The stock market is crazy and chaotic. We made it our mission to help you own it, and we have a fantastic show for you today. So hit that thumbs up if you're ready for some crazy after-hours action. Fat Man Zoom, hit him with the starting five.
Starting five, we have Karthikeyan, Mysterious Gal, Fernando Pereira Medina, Brian Bonnell, Savvy Money Show. You are the starting five. And let me explain this to you, Brian. You said you didn't make the starting five. You did. Just because somebody writes 3 comments, if it's the same person, that's just one.
Yeah.
So just helping you out. Guys, welcome to Own the Chaos. We got a little bit of business we got to take care of, though. We got our thumbnail pose.
Yes.
All right. Let's keep it on this one. Camera one.
Yep. What you got?
Robinhood, I'm going to tell you what to do on this one. This is Robinhood IPO reaction, or let's just say prediction.
Okay.
So you do thumbs up, you do thumbs down, I'll do thumbs up. All right.
I like that one.
Camera 2. Trevor Milton is going to jail. Yeah, thank God. Yes. It's about damn time. Oh, man.
All right, camera 3.
Amazon earnings. Please, dear God, stock split.
Oh, man. How you been, bro?
Good. It's an interesting day because, I mean, I had been green all day.
Me too.
Looks like I may close out red, but it's like the best red day I've had. Only pen's causing me to close out red. But I feel good about things that are moving. My non-public account has a hell of a lot of Tesla.
Yeah.
And so it's a good day for that one.
Yeah. Tesla's rocking and rolling. It's up $30 a share, around 5% on the day. Pretty wild stuff for Tesla. Guys, no Freddie Valoy today. Saw some people asking. He is on vacation. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make the connection from way out from wherever he is, halfway from Hawaii. Yeah, that's right. Hawaii. And so he's way off on the other side of the globe almost.
But it's probably for the best because we have a lot of things we need to focus on today, primarily Amazon earnings. So, guys, if you haven't been here before, we got a couple topics we'll talk through. The Nikola news, Trevor Milton, that drama. It's just a shit show over there. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Robinhood IPO. We discussed it yesterday, but I want to just talk about price targets on it, and then potentially, we'll look at the reaction and then see, okay, what do we think is going to happen? How are we going to deal with this situation?
Yeah.
And then, most importantly, Amazon earnings reaction. So as the market closes, make sure you guys stick around because we will immediately turn our attention to Amazon stock. We'll look at the chart and then we'll look for the earnings numbers. And once we get the numbers in, we'll deliver them to you guys, give our thoughts, our reaction, and hopefully there's a stock split announcement. Hopefully there's increased guidance and hopefully this son of a bitch goes to 4K.
There's a couple of other ones too. We got Twilio and oh shit. I just forgot the other one.
What's up, Oliver Thorpe? Tuning in from Greece on vacation.
Oh, hell
where in
yeah,
Greece
bro.
you at?
That's what's up.
Zero Block said false advertising we're suing because Freddie's not here.
Oh, Pinterest is also today.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one.
So yeah.
Yeah, so excited about that and a great way to close out the week. If you guys are unfamiliar with this channel, we go live every Monday through Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time through the market close. We also go live on Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, but we do this market close. So this is sort of the end of our week.
Yep.
And this is a great way to end and in just a monster earnings week. And I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but what are your thoughts, general thoughts about this week? What stands out to you?
Nothing was really all that surprising to me, I didn't think. What stood out to me, though, and I don't want it to sound cliche or a cop out because I really truly am surprised at how they turned out. But it was Apple's earnings. I was very surprised at their hardware sales and how they were able to crank up the profit margins on hardware sales. They sold 50% more iPhones this quarter than last quarter, which is just mind blowing. Like they are just absolutely incredible. And I know they're Apple, but I mean, it just continues to just blow my mind.
Yeah, I expected great earnings. I expected guidance increase, but just the amount of record-setting earnings is incredible. I think people underestimated Tesla's earnings. I'm so bullish on Tesla to the point where, like I just told you before we went on, I put in another order for 660, not knowing if that's going to get filled, but adding on to, it's by far my largest position that I have. So yeah, that stood out, was a great kickoff to the week. Now I just need Amazon to close it out. Guys, if you guys have been with us this week through the earnings, go ahead and just give us a thumbs up. We're going to try to stick to our goal of 100 likes today. You think 100 thumbs up might make sense?
I think we could do it. We got 23 so far. We got
easy
100 of you guys watching. So yeah, I'd imagine it would be easy to get to that 100. So we're setting the bar low.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 150 because I think we're gonna get a little 405 push for people coming in for Amazon earnings.
I think we could. Yeah, that's possible.
150. Let's just go for it. So yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and give you the earnings breakdown, give you the numbers, give our estimates. We haven't done a prediction in a while, so I think we should just go ahead and do a prediction. But first, let's get into the headlines and the topics. What do you got?
I have some fantastic news. Trevor Milton's going to jail.
Finally. We need some sort of like sound for it. Sound effect.
I know, right? So this is something nobody likes to celebrate anybody going to jail. However, I'm just going to gloat a little bit on this because this time last year, I talked about all the bullshit that was going on with Nikola, and it was going crazy. And people, these diehard people, it reminds me a lot of the AMC people, how much they just fell in love with this company and Trevor Milton and the whole story. And I was just like, this smells really fishy. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Where's the proof? How are they going to outperform Tesla? And they were actually going to sue Tesla because they were making claims that Tesla took their designs and all this other stuff. Total bullshit. This morning, it was announced the Department of Justice is, well, not the Department of Justice. Who is it?
The SEC?
No.
Or the DOJ?
Yeah, I think it's DOJ.
That's the Department
Whatever.
of Justice. One
One of them government entities. The feds are suing or indicted Trevor Milton on 3 charges of fraud, making claims that Nikola's electric truck prototypes were powered by hidden wall sockets, towed into position and rolled down hills, which we jokingly made those accusations, and it's just so hilarious that that actually is the thing. But yeah, so 3 counts of 3 charges of fraud. He's been indicted. No comments from Trevor Milton, Fat Man Zoom. But this is very interesting. Nikola basically came out, the company, and said, hey, we don't have anything to do with Nikola. Trevor Milton's been out. He's not part of the company anymore. He's not associated with us. This is all hands off. But he's the reason they are where they're at. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the stock right now is down quite a bit. We take a look at the chart here. Let me get this pulled back up. Yeah, it's down 12%. Unbelievable what a fall from grace this thing was. You know, I thought Lordstown was going to be the first company to go bankrupt, and now it's looking like Nikola could be on the chopping block here. They both are, but now it's just kind of a race to the bottom.
Yeah. Anybody that was interested in Nikola when it started should have known.
There's so many red flags.
When they named a company piggybacking off of Tesla,
yes,
it's shady.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a scumbag move. It's a lazy move. And they, none of this surprised us. Hindenburg actually, weren't they the ones that originally came out and talked about it rolling down, where they did sort of the false advertising and had the event where they rolled it downhill?
Yep, absolutely. So Hindenburg was actually
they're still Hindenburg.
Yeah, on the right side of this one, and made a bunch of accusations towards Nikola, and then created this investigation, and now it's being followed through. I mean, at one point, this company is worth $3 billion. It's crazy.
I told you this off air, but just what we know about Trevor Milton, just how he's been publicly, that dude's gonna rat out
Yes.
Everybody. He's going to get off. Guaranteed he gets off.
Yep.
And he's going to rat everybody out. I mean, it's going to be, if you don't think this guy is going to like rat out and just give everybody's business, you got another thing coming. He's going to rat everybody out. You're going to hear about things about Nikola that haven't come out, that are going to come out. And yeah, this going bankruptcy is a foregone conclusion. There's no way you come back from this, I don't think.
No. The only revenue they've generated, to my knowledge, is...
Pre-orders?
No, not even pre-orders. The only revenue they generated was, at least in the first couple of quarters, was $50,000 in revenue, and it was to put solar panels on Trevor Milton's house.
So he paid for his revenue?
Right. Like he put his own revenue into the company, like his own money into the company.
What a douche.
Called it revenue. Yeah, so just unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
I just don't know why it took this long.
Would you short Nikola?
At this point, it seems kind of too late.
Really? I feel like 12% isn't a lot.
That's true. I mean, maybe we come out and hear that, accounts are being seized and that sort of thing to the company, and they're shutting it down, and that could cause the stock to come down even more. But I think that lots of times you look at the charts like this, and after they come down, you see a little bit of a dead cat bounce. So I think that if I was to short it, I'd wait for some sort of maybe run up from the people who are quote unquote buying the dip, and then maybe short it that way.
Guys, if you too think that Trevor Milton's a douchebag, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, I guess that is liking, but then subscribe while you're at it so we can just keep you updated on that, because every step of the way, we're going to be following this news about this guy.
This is so entertaining.
And I've never shorted a stock. I typically don't, but I may. This would be a great one to be my first stock short ever.
I feel like when you short, you're just like rooting for something to lose, and it's like betting the under.
Yeah.
I just want to be a part of the overs club.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way about that. So there you guys have it. Nikola, Trevor Milton, stay tuned on that. Next topic I have, probably a little bit more important to you guys, but nonetheless, another snake of a CEO. We got Robinhood. Their IPO was today. And I mean, they're very similar in that sense.
Yeah.
So Vlad somehow escapes the feds, and maybe Trevor Milton could have learned a thing or two, but there's still time. Robinhood IPO debuted today. $38 a share was the IPO price. I don't want to say, to no one's surprise, we were a little bit curious as to how this would play out, but I don't think it's a surprise that it's actually down, and it's bid down, tried to push back up, on its way down. And so we'll look at the technicals in a second. But what I want to talk about as far as the IPO is concerned is the value of Robinhood, price target, and I think any stock is worth trading. So it's safe to say it's unlikely we would trade this stock. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
But there would be a time that we could potentially trade this stock. So I want to talk about that a little bit. And I'm going to actually bring to the table how much I think this company is truly worth, and how much and when I would actually get in compared to what it is worth now based on the current price. But first, why don't you talk about what happened as far as the technicals are concerned?
Well, there's not much to go off of. I'm just looking at the 5-minute chart and just seeing how it's been moving. One thing I will say, well, I'll tell you what, there's not really much to go off as far as the chart's concerned, but I wanted you to give your thoughts on valuation, and then I also have some thoughts, and I don't want to steal yours. So why don't you go ahead and give your thoughts on that?
Okay, well, let me go ahead and just tell people, give them a little bit of an idea of what happened, because it's important to know. So it opens, and
it spikes up to $40 and then ended up tanking down 10%.
Yeah, so it went down 13% just after it opened.
Yeah.
Tried to push back, almost came back to break even, and now it's just trending down back towards that 12%, 13% plus. And so I think if it breaks below the low of the day, I think there's probably more pain to come.
Yeah.
The questions we talked about were really, is there going to be some animosity from the Reddit crew, the Wall Street Bets? Wouldn't it be interesting if they actually went against this stock and tried to short this stock? I'm not saying that's happening right now, but that would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I think if this was 2019, this stock could have, the IPO would have probably just shot off like some IPOs we've seen historically. So I just think I think it was a bad move for them to still debut their IPO. Regardless, let's talk about the worth of this. So based on the, let's just work on the $38 per share price. So what it opened at.
Yeah.
Based on that, it puts the market cap of the company at around $32 billion. That's what it was. Sorry, I forgot to write the number down. It puts it at $32 billion.
Yeah.
And the first thing you want to do is looking at the market cap of other companies such as like Charles Schwab or whatnot. And when you look at it, that immediately says that this company's overvalued. But if I'm trying to determine what it actually should be worth and what it's at, I think a couple things you need to consider. There, in September of 2020, their last privately funded round, the valuation was put at $11.7 billion.
Yeah.
So to put that in perspective, now, if the market cap was $11.7 billion, that would mean that the stock was roughly worth a little bit below $14 a share. Okay?
Okay.
So as of September 2020, when they were on fire, the investors were willing to agree that the value was $11.7 billion. That's when they were profitable for the first time. That's when they were blowing up, all that good stuff. So as investors, they agreed that it was worth $11.7 billion. You're telling me that it's worth almost 3 times as much as that with the current market cap, at least 2.5 times of that. So when I look at the numbers as if I was just a regular private investor, 2019, the company saw a loss of $106 million. 2020 was the first year ever they had profits of only $7.5 million. It's not a lot of money. It is profitable, which is great. But then this year, their estimated losses are between $487 million and $537 million.
Yeah.
$500 million. Back to 2019, it was only $106 million. So you're telling me that that company is worth 3 times as much as last year? As it's growing, its losses are mounting. So I would get in it at $17.50 or below. And I put a 25% premium on the private investor price, and I think that's generous. I wouldn't even sniff at this stock above $20. So based on what I looked at, the values and then the losses, I wouldn't get in it because of Vlad, but if by some chance it got down to those levels, I wouldn't even consider it before there. So $17.50 is what I would say.
I'm not getting it, period. And for one reason and one reason only.
Vlad. Cash flow.
That's actually a secondary reason.
Payment for cash.
Right. Yeah. So payment for order flow is responsible for 70% of Robinhood's revenue. Okay. They've been investigated. They've paid fines on the payment for order flow issues.
Yep.
And they're being investigated on the gamification of investing. And in this space, in this industry, you're taught, you're shown, you've learned, if you've been into this game for any length of time, that the longer you hold on to something, as long as it's a good company, the better off you are. And if Robinhood starts to change that narrative of you holding on longer, and their primary source of revenue is payment for order flow, meaning that the more trades you make, the more money that Robinhood makes, and then they try to spin this and say, well, you should be holding on to stuff, then doesn't that bring the revenue of Robinhood down unless they somehow figure out how to pivot to make money somewhere else?
Yeah.
So I think that is a huge issue. And, you know, I don't know if they can really kind of overcome that or how they can really change that, because that's what they've based their entire brand off of just day trading and short-term trading. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But as long as you understand that you're gambling with that kind of money. I mean, the average account size for Robinhood of the 22 million active users that they have is $5,000.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just, it's a bunch of young people our age and younger, that are in Robinhood, and they're willing to take on more risk, and really it's gambling at the end of the day for the most part. Most of them are AMC, trading up and down, GameStop type stuff, and you can say whatever you want, but it is gambling at the end of the day. There's high risk involved in that. So that's the world that Robinhood's living in. And can they change that, and can they make money somehow, in some other way in the long term? I think that remains to be seen.
Yeah, it does. And there's just a lot of red flags. I worry that there'll be emotion in this, and people will just see the name Robinhood, and just convince themselves that they need to be in it. It could run up and have some FOMO, but if you look, they gave the opportunity in an effort to stick to their brand of democratizing trading, and they allowed their their account holders to have access to the IPO. They're going to be selling this. I mean, I just believe there's going to be a lot of selling of this. So I would actually, I'm not saying I would never get in it. I would anticipate I could get in it if it was like some sort of hype move, again, to the levels that I talked about, where it was just ridiculously oversold. But yeah, their model doesn't make sense. Like, from just a business perspective, take out any stock fundamental technicals, but like just talking about a business model. And if you think back to that September 2020 round of private investing, that's much different, guys, than public things going public. Public can be emotion, but whatever. These guys that do private investing, there's a lot of due diligence around what the value of a company is, the growth of the company, and they get a lot more information about the future of a company than we would get on IPO day.
Yeah.
And so for Robinhood to realize that they were only worth $11.7 billion in September, do we honestly think, with them having an overhang of a $500 million net loss, probably worse when it's all said and done, do we really think if it was another private round that they could get $11.7 billion? I think the answer is no.
Yeah.
So I think I'm actually being generous on this, but as we've seen, it doesn't really matter what it's intrinsically worth. It just matters what somebody's willing to pay for it. So there's some dumb fools out there that are probably willing to pay more.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised. But this stock is not worth $35 in my opinion. I wouldn't touch it.
Nope, me either.
That's what we got, man. Robinhood IPO. We're definitely going to keep an eye on it. I'm sure it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of conversations around it. So stay tuned on that. And we'll move on. Sorry, that was a horrible transition. We're moving on.
It's all good. There is like either troll bots in here, or there's actually somebody sending people over to troll us. And I'm not even going to bother with it because there's too many of them. So you guys just take care of those people. But either way, there's 203 of you guys hanging in here. And there's 58 likes. We're already more than halfway to our goal for the day. So go ahead and hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying the show so far. And let us know in the comments what you think about the whole Robinhood thing as well. What are your thoughts, your opinions on everything that we're talking about today? We'd love to hear from you guys. Put the comments down below. Today, Fat Man Zoom, we got about 7 minutes, less than 7 minutes to go before the end of the day, before the closing bell. We got Amazon that's reporting earnings, Pinterest, as well as Twilio. Those are the big three names. Obviously, Amazon being the biggest. It has been an incredible week just of earnings in general. I've had a lot of fun with this, and what a way to cap it off with some Amazon earnings. Yeah.
I'm hyped. It's been one I've been waiting for all week. I started with my favorite, and I'm ending with my favorite 1B, 1A. Tesla and Amazon. Way to bookend it. So hopefully I get the love from Amazon that I got from Tesla. So
J Money, you bring up a good point. Skyworks has also got earnings today. That is a bigger company too. That if we can take a look at that one as well. They have earnings after hours.
John Lesserman says Hood will likely be a good long-term play. Who knows in the short term? Mike Jack says he's puts on Robinhood. Yeah, man. Good luck with that. Yeah. Long-term play, maybe for Robinhood. I'm not sure. We'll see.
All they need to have happen is that something their platform needs to shut down again, or some crazy shit needs to happen, and it's super risky.
Yeah. That first earnings call is going to be really fun.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Also, I can't wait for August 19th.
By the way, I did want to just shout out real quick the watch list that we put out. So every single day we put out a watch list for our Chaos crew members. If you go to ownthechaos.com or click the links down in the description, you get it for absolutely free. Cleveland Cliffs was a stock that we all know and love, and that has made regular appearances on the watch list. It went the hell off today. I am absolutely in love with the action here. If you guys take a look, we've been on Cleveland Cliffs for the past several months, and it has done nothing but print money. We take a look at the chart here, and it has been on this ascending channel and continues to follow this absolutely perfectly. It came all the way up to 25.83 today after making a monster run from the bottom of this channel and got rejected, and it was actually really predictable. So I ended up buying this at less than $21 a share at the bottom of this trend and ended up trimming up half of my position when it got rejected. So far, so good. I just love this stock. I do think it's going to continue to roll up. but it's had 9 green days in a row, Fat Man Zoom. So today seemed like it was a really good opportunity to take some profits, and I'm going to continue to maintain my position in Cleveland-Cliffs. But man, this looks absolutely fantastic. This was on the Chaos Crew watch list. So if you guys want to check that out, click the links down in the description. We'd love to have you guys as part of the crew.
How much does that watch list cost, Brad?
It's free 99. Doesn't cost you a dime. So go ahead and check out ownthechaos.com. Get your watch list for free.
All right. Yeah, I know everybody's kind of bringing up stock split, Amazon stock split. Let's go ahead and just talk. I mean, there's a lot of conversation to have around Amazon.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. So Amazon reports earnings per share of $12.30 estimated. And they have had great beats the last 4 quarters. Let's just start with your prediction. What do you expect the earnings per share to come in at? What do you want to hear or expect to hear? And what reaction do you think the stock will have?
Well, we're running out. So in the beginning of the year, we predicted, we had bold predictions. If you guys recall, for those of you guys who have been following us for a minute, we had some bold predictions on some stocks and just the overall market. Some of them have come to fruition. Some of them have yet to play out. But one of them was that we saw Amazon doing a potential forward split this year. We're running out of quarters, Fat Man Zoom. If they don't announce it here, we got one more quarter for them to announce it in 2021. And so I would love to hear some sort of split, even if it's a smaller one than we were hoping for, something to kind of get the stock going even further. The average estimate is $12.22 for today for this quarter. I think that's actually a little bit low. If we look at some of the other FANG stocks that have come in, and especially with e-commerce, Shopify had an amazing quarter. I think that Amazon could easily come in over $15 a share, and I do think that is possible. I've said this before: habits were formed during COVID, and they don't just go away. If you've discovered the convenience of shopping through Amazon or even just e-commerce in general, you're not going to just revert back and all of a sudden want to go back out to the store when you don't have to fight crowds and all that other stuff. I mean, I can't tell you how many. I mean, even just like Instacarting has been awesome. So like just stuff like that that's made people's lives easier. Yeah. They don't just go back. So I think that Amazon's going to continue to grow here. We like it as a $4,000 stock. I do think it does achieve that this year.
Give me a specific number of what you think the earnings will come in.
I think it comes in at $15.13.
Okay, I have $14.89.
Oh, that's pretty close.
To mine?
Yeah.
So there's a chance this could be a record quarter, which would be awesome. It's had a little bit of a run up, but I still think we talk about stocks going into earnings, running into earnings. I don't think this has had as great of a move into earnings as something like a Facebook.
Yeah.
I think this does have an opportunity to outperform after earnings. It's interesting because this will be like really telling about Andy Jassy. And there's a couple of things that I'm keying on as far as this earnings is concerned. Andy Jassy, the new CEO that replaced Jeff Bezos.
Yep.
I think the question is like, how much value do people put in Jeff Bezos as far as the success of Amazon? And could Andy Jassy sort of carry the torch and maybe get it further than Jeff Bezos could have? Some would say like a Tim Cook, where he took it in a different direction than probably Steve Jobs would have, but it actually ends up being the right move. And so I think Amazon's better off at this point without Jeff Bezos than with Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
I think this is a good time for them to sort of transition off.
Yep.
I think that having somebody new, fresh, taking a different direction is probably a good move. Seeing how he deals with earnings, that's a key thing. A CEO and how they deliver earnings is an art.
Yeah.
And so if you can do that, if you can deliver good earnings, create optimism, vision, articulate vision, I think those are all great things for the stock. The easy answer is announce a stock split. Why wouldn't you do that? It's like, it makes all the sense in the world to do a stock split, to recalibrate the share price as a new CEO. All of those things make sense to announce a stock split. I'm sure it won't happen, but I would love to see that happen. There's too much. I mean, there's got to be behind the scenes a lot of chatter about doing that. Maybe they wait for like a underperforming quarter. Not sure, but I don't think that's this quarter. Other thing it has going for it, guidance. They should increase guidance. The fear of Delta variant actually helps them out. So I'm looking forward to it. 4K, let's go, baby.
Yes, it looks like it's starting to get a move on right now. The market just closed about 30 seconds ago. And so we'll go ahead and continue to monitor Amazon. I'll pull up Upwork. They also have earnings. Gig economy, it's a competitor to Fiverr. If you guys don't know that one, we really like Upwork and Fiverr. There's also Twilio, TWLO is the ticker symbol there, and then also Pinterest as well. All right. Pinterest looks like it's kind of trying to get a move on. Doesn't look like there's any real volume. It might just be fluff here so far, but it's up 1.5%. And then it continues to move around. So it looks like it might just be typical pre-release action here on Pinterest. We'll continue to monitor that, though. Amazon just started to make a turn down. It is actually down 2% right now. Just touched $3,500 a share. And if you guys recall, the $3,500 share mark is a pretty crucial support for it, as it was a very stubborn resistance. And now it's starting to fall below that. The numbers look like they might have come in. We'll give you those as soon as we got them. Right now, Amazon now trading down over 3% after hours. Be curious to see what the reason is and how we can react and respond to this.
Arfin says 1512, but I'm not seeing that yet come up.
If it's 1512, I'm going to laugh.
Why? Because it was a penny from what you said?
Yeah, it's a penny off.
Okay. Nope, nothing yet.
All right. So right now, Amazon's trading down 4.5% after hours. Upwork is actually now trading up over almost 3% after hours. Pretty decent looking boner candle there on Upwork. We got 303 of you guys.
I got the numbers.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it did come in at 1512 for earnings per share. The sales missed on revenue. They came in at 113 billion, which the estimates were 115 billion. So they missed by $2 billion.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I'll let you guys know if there's other numbers as they come in as far as what comes up for it.
Looks like they lowered their guidance. According to Arfin, guidance Amazon sees Q3 2021 net sales of 106 to 112 billion versus 118 estimated. So that's also a pretty big slump there. Curious to see what the call looks like. So pretty disappointing from Amazon. I mean, they ended up beating earnings, but regardless, end up lowering their guidance here, and it is now down around 4.25%. Pretty surprising, Fat Man Zoom.
Yeah, that's bad. You had to at least keep guidance. To lower guidance while everybody else is raising guidance, that's bad. However, Amazon isn't going anywhere. It's a great stock, and this could be a great opportunity. It's really just finding out when we think this will turn around.
Yeah, right now it is well below the support of 3,500 and now trading at 34.35. It's a little disappointing because it was for the longest time, for about 6 months, trading sideways. If you look here on the daily chart, it was trading sideways for a very long time. And then finally broke over that $4,500 mark when Jeff Bezos had stepped down, went all the way up to $37.75. Does our $4,000 call by the end of the year remain intact? I think so. Just might take a little bit more time to get there, but it is kind of rough so far for Amazon. Some other stuff that are reporting, though. Upwork right now is up over 2%. Let's go ahead and check back in the 5-minute chart. So far, it is trading on pretty low volume. We'll see where that leads. I forgot about Skyworks. We'll pull up Skyworks. It doesn't look like that. Looks like, who was it? Jay Money was not happy about that. No, can't blame you there. It's down 3.3% after hours. As soon as we get those numbers as well, we'll go ahead and shoot them off to you. Amazon continuing to come down here. Pretty tough stuff. It's now down at 34.25 a share. It is down almost 5%. 356 of you guys watching. We got 78 likes. Our goal today was to get to 100. So if you could give us a thumbs up. Oh, yeah, it was 150. Sorry. 150. We're up in the ante. If you guys could give us a thumbs up, we certainly would appreciate it. And if you're liking the stream and you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. Oh man, this is a tough Thursday, Fat Man Zoom. Ooh. Pinterest is now down 6.5%. Looks like their numbers might be out as well. Yikes. This isn't surprising for me as far as Pinterest is concerned, though, because all of the other social media platforms have reported, and Pinterest has made a move off of those. So I wouldn't surprise me if Pinterest came in with good numbers that were pretty pleasing to investors, but then is selling off because of, selling the news. You could see this ran up after last week from reports on Snap and Twitter's earnings, and then obviously Facebook as well. Jesus, Pinterest down 9% after hours.
Wow. Yeah, tough day.
Tough day all around.
We had Apple on Tuesday, I think it was, and we were waiting forever, and then Amazon throws theirs out right away. Everybody gets out right away.
I know, yeah. Pinterest is still continuing to come down here. Let's go to the 5-minute chart on that, and it is down 12.5% after hours, now down to $63 a share from after closing at $71.83. Yikes. Holy cow. Checking out the chat, Chris Edwards asked a good question. 4K for Amazon or 3K for Google? What comes first?
Oh, Google for sure.
Google, yeah. I would say Google comes first as well. That's just an unstoppable beast.
Well, and when you think about how far it is away, I mean, it's only 6% away from 3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's... Eventually, they'll both get there.
Yeah. Looking at Skyworks, they reported earnings as well. Don't have those official numbers just yet, but they are trading down 4.5% as well. Only one, I spoke too soon. Twilio's now down as well, trading down 1.7% after its close. Looks like those numbers might be out too. Man, Fat Man Zoom, all of them released them at the same time.
Jeez. How much is Pinterest down now?
Pinterest is down 12.5% after hours. Let's go back to that 5-minute chart. Pretty ugly stuff.
So they beat earnings per share. Estimates were 13 cents. They came in at 25 cents. Revenue, they beat. $561 million was estimated. 613 it came in at. Their monthly active users came in considerably lower for the quarter. Estimated monthly active users were 484 million. They had 454 million. I'm wondering what else they said in there that could be detrimental.
Monthly active users is such a big metric for these social media companies.
Percent.
It's that and revenue per user that really dictates the action of the stock. So that wouldn't surprise me if this is selling off for that reason. Man, it's continuing to accelerate here. It's down almost 14% after hours. I would be willing to bet, Fat Man Zoom, based off of the beat, and even though they were down on active users, this could end up being a really solid opportunity. This is starting to feel like overreaction territory. Let's come back out to the daily chart. So this is sitting at $62 right now. We look at the daily chart on Pinterest. $62 rests right around here. If you guys can see that, I'll go ahead and draw a chart.
It looks like they may have potentially withheld guidance, which is weird.
Interesting. All right, so you guys can see here, $62 a share seems to be kind of like where that support may lie. It's well below the 200-day average, obviously, as well as the 50-day. With it sitting at 62 here, let's see if it holds that. If it doesn't hold 62, you can see here on the chart, look, you go all the way back to November, even January 26th, and then again in March, briefly fell below that in May, but then came right back and retested as support. I think 62 could be that number that Pinterest needs to hold in order for this to stay strong, so to speak. So watch that area. I think this could be a really good opportunity, Fat Man Zoom.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing that's interesting, going back to Amazon, is remembering that it had that channel, what was it, like 2,900 to 3,200. It's already at 3,400. It'll be interesting if this thing keeps going.
Yeah.
And maybe either re-enters that channel or just bounces off of it.
Yep, absolutely.
Because again, I think Pinterest and Amazon are in the same boat. More so Amazon is anytime you get a massive move down, and it's an opportunity if you're in a long term. position.
Rudy Brown in the chat says if it doesn't hold 62, 54 looks like it could be next in line. And I agree. That's the most recent bottom here that we saw back in early May. So if it doesn't hold 62, watch out for that 54 mark. I think that I would be grabbing Pinterest with both hands if it came down there. Looking at some other stuff that's reporting, it is an ugly after hours earnings sesh, folks. Upwork is now down 8.5% on their earnings. If you guys are just joining us, there's 428 of you guys in here. We're giving you our live reactions to earnings here with Amazon, Upwork, Twilio, Pinterest, and Skyworks. Skyworks is flat after hours right now. We'll see where that goes. It did initially fall below the close of 196.67, but really the big story here is Pinterest is down 12.5% and was down as much as 14%. Amazon's down 5% after hours, and Upwork is now starting to make a little bit more of a move here to the upside. We'll see where that goes, but pretty tough stuff so far this afternoon.
Streamico says, how does it beat on top and bottom numbers and it's down almost 20% on the day? Pinterest. We talked about this before. Really, the beat doesn't matter as much as guidance. And if they did, in fact, withhold guidance, that's a horrible thing to do, given the certain state of all the other companies. And then also, they did miss on active users, which is a very important metric. So monthly active users was substantially down. So the numbers for last quarter, earnings per share, revenue, really don't matter because they've already happened. That's nice. But we've talked about it. The market's a forward-looking vessel. It cares about what's going on in the future. So if it thinks that activity is down, on top of that, they have no idea of what the guidance is. They've got to believe that if they withheld guidance, it's because it's not good.
Yeah.
And so that's could be scary.
Absolutely. There's 425 of you guys watching. If you guys are enjoying the stream so far and just hanging out and enjoying the channel, certainly hit that thumbs up. We're almost to our goal of 150 likes. We got 110.
Let's get back to Amazon too, because that's the title of the stream.
Yeah, let's do it. So Amazon right now is still down around 5% and continuing to sell off here. It fell below that crucial support at 3,500 and is now sitting at 3,422. That next area of support is at 3,408. It's kind of thereabouts is where I have it marked there. So we'll see if it holds that now here after hours with Amazon coming out with a mixed, I would say is a mixed earnings report.
Yeah, they came in at 15.12 earnings per share. They beat on earnings per share. The estimates were at 12.24, 12.22, right around there. And then, but they did miss on revenue, and they missed pretty substantially where the estimates were 115 billion. They came in at 113 billion.
Yeah.
Now, 2 billion, it is a lot. It's just under 2%. You should be beating, especially if you're Amazon e-commerce. You should be beating. It sounds like they set the bar a little high. I'm really interested as far as the guidance is concerned and what they're saying moving forward. But a couple numbers. Growth for Amazon Q2, North America grew 22% year over year. Pretty good. But again, it did not beat consensus. So consensus they thought would be higher. International, it didn't beat consensus. So international grew 36%, which looks good, but the growth was expected higher. They was expected to have 31.65 billion international revenue. They came in at 30.72. And then the only beat was their cloud services, AWS.
Yeah.
37% growth, and that was above their estimates as far as that was, or the analyst expectations on that. So looks actually like, as you dig deeper, it's a lot more bad than it is good.
Yeah. I wonder if the international sales has anything to do with the fact that they've been slower to get the vaccine than the U.S. Do you think, like supply chain wise and all that, I wonder if that has anything to do with it?
Perhaps. I mean, perhaps.
Yeah. Just spitballing. Yeah. But I tell you what, the AWS is so underrated. No surprise that actually beat expectations. But Amazon's continuing to fall down here now. It's at 34.15 after hours, now down over 5% in after hours trading. If you guys are just joining us, they came in and gave us some mixed earnings reports, or a mixed report as far as good versus bad is concerned. They beat on earnings, missed on revenue. Lowered their guidance on revenue for the next quarter. So pretty interesting to see Amazon coming down this far. on that report, but I guess it's probably not too shocking. Looking at some of the other ones, you guys mentioned that you were curious about Pinterest, Skyworks, Twilio, Upwork. Twilio came in, and was it Twilio that Arfin gave me? What did you give me, Arfin? Let me scroll back up here. I missed it. I can't remember where it was. Anyways, Twilio
Google is now officially more valuable than Amazon.
Google's now more officially valuable? Damn. That's crazy. That is wild. Pinterest sees the quarter 3 year-over-year sales growth by 40%. That's still pretty good. Pinterest came in, is now down 14%, below the $62 range. We'll see where that opens up tomorrow, but not looking good. And then Skyworks is also down 4.5%. Pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff.
Alvin Smith, where do we find earnings? I just go on Twitter, but you can go to the investor relations page. They'll eventually post it. They'll have, usually 30 minutes after release numbers, they'll actually have the web call. So you can go there. You can Google it. This is all over the place.
Yeah.
Yahoo earnings.
Lots of places, lots of resources. Thanks, Arfin. So yeah, Twilio beat their estimate at a loss of 11 cents compared to 13 expected. And they beat revenue too, 668 million versus 598. And it's down 3%. Be curious to see if maybe the guidance was down or what have you, but it's not down as bad as really everything else. I guess it's the only one that's outperforming here this afternoon so far. But yeah, just a wild afternoon. Pretty crazy, man, because like all week it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
For the most part. Obviously, some of the reactions were mixed, but that's to be expected. But these are tough. These are tough. Twilio is actually starting to try to come back here. It's clawing its way back. We'll see if it's green.
It's not a great week. Sorry, not a great way to end the week. Man, it was set up for him.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing because it was just such a great week, and then Amazon comes like that. I wish Amazon would have reported first on Monday, got all the stocks nervous, and then they blow out the water and they would have ran.
Yeah, give me the bad news first.
Man, and
build me up to break me down.
So this is technically Jeff Bezos's. The numbers that they released today was Jeff Bezos's last final quarter.
Yeah.
So moving forward, it'll be all Andy Jassy data. Looks like Jeff Bezos was a little too focused on getting up into space.
Getting that penis rocket ready.
Yeah.
We got 150 likes. Hey, thanks for hitting that thumbs up, guys. We really appreciate the 450 of you guys that allowed us to be a part of your afternoon. We certainly appreciate it. Even though earnings aren't what we hoped for, we certainly appreciate you guys being a part of the show and hanging out with us. Right now, if you guys are just joining or if you're visiting for the first time, hopefully we earn a subscription from you. And because we do this every day, Monday through Thursday, we go live at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So today's the last day of the week for us. But then we'll be back on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to go over the week ahead and what we're expecting for either earnings or events, what have you, catalysts that are coming, what's the market doing, all that good stuff. So if you guys want to do that, if you guys want to be a part of that, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and then also hit that thumbs up.
Is Amazon a buy?
Is Amazon a buy? Oh, that's a really good question. I keep looking at supports here. I'm like, if it holds this, then yeah, maybe. But then it breaks right through it. I liked it at 3,400. If it can hold 3,400 and opens at 3,400, I think that, yes, I would consider scooping and buying the dip on Amazon down there. But as we saw, from them, it's been very sideways for the last 6 months, and then they come in and lay an egg on earnings. It's very tricky to determine where it's going to land tomorrow. So I have it at 3,400 for now. If it comes in and breaks below that, next stop for Amazon could be 3,300. It's been pretty consistent with these $100 areas. So 33, 34, 3,500 have been pretty solid areas of support and or resistance wherever side of the coin that's on. So we'll just continue to watch that. Obviously, there's the 50-day too that's now well below. So it's below the 50-day mark. The 200-day moving average is 32.76. So if it breaks below 3,300, that could be another area to watch for. We'll just have to see how it shakes out tomorrow when after the bell. But I would say Amazon, like Apple, is one of those stocks you just own. You buy into weakness. Yeah. So even if you're not, so I don't know if you would really just want to try to time this. I think you just buy it on a shitty day, and because later on down the road you're going to be happy you did.
Yeah, coming into next quarter, you're going to be happy if you were in it right now.
Yeah.
Especially if it gets down back into that channel. If it gets back down to that 3,200 or below, it's showed incredible strength above, I believe, 2,900. So if it gets below 3,200, I will surely find ways to find money to put into there. So Amazon will be just fine. Sean mentions Amazon gonna announce a stock split tomorrow morning. For you guys who weren't here earlier, we mentioned that like maybe you have the stock split in your back pocket.
Yeah.
If it's like a down quarter or down news, you release that, kind of get a little bit of charge, a little bit of catalyst. Wouldn't now be nice to do that? So
sure would
make sense. We haven't heard about that yet. I doubt that'll be in an earnings that they'll say that. It'll be outside of it. But like you said earlier, we only have one more earnings, one more chance. But I still believe that the stock split is coming. You guys in the comments, let's do this. Let me know what you think Amazon closes the week at. So tomorrow at the bell, what does Amazon close the week at? And I'm just going to leave it open for interpretation. What do you think it closes tomorrow at, Brad?
I think Amazon closes at 34.50 tomorrow.
Okay.
It's actually starting to see a little bit more, a small
smidge,
small fraction of buying right now. But yeah, I'm still going to remain bullish on this. 34.50. I'm going to be optimistic on Amazon.
You should be. But still a great company, one of the best companies out there. I love it. Fat Man Zoom special, so I may be trying to have to mortgage my house for some of this stuff. But guys, appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit the like out the door. We can get to 200. I think we'll be able to do that. I was surprised for a moment there. I was like, we might not even get to 150. when I had to correct you, when you said the goal was 100, I was like, we said 150, and I didn't know if we were going to get there.
Yeah, well, anyways, there's 425 of you guys hanging out here. We certainly appreciate, again, you being a part of the live stream. Just to reiterate, we went over Amazon earnings. They came in rather disappointingly, even though they beat earnings. The outlook wasn't all that great. Upwork came in, and I guess we didn't get the numbers on that, I don't think. But it looks like they're pretty disappointing. Twilio came in and it actually clawed its way back. It's now green after hours. They came in and beat earnings. I'm not quite sure what they did with their outlook, but they beat earnings, beat on revenue, and that looks actually pretty solid so far. One of the bright spots in today's after hours trading. Pinterest came in and disappointed on monthly active users. That's why that's down. But I think I really do like this at that $62 mark if it can hold there. So if you guys are fans of Pinterest or invested in Pinterest, I think that's going to be a crucial area to watch for. And then Skyworks came in and kind of shit the bed as well. It's been a really rough after hours, really rough end to the week as far as earnings are concerned. Tomorrow, all the oils report, Chevron, Exxon, Energy, all that good stuff. So that
Upwork did. We got the numbers for Upwork. They had estimates of loss of 9 cents a share. They came and they beat positive 3 cents a share.
Wow.
Sales they beat on 120 million with the estimates. They came in at 124 million. So it should be. We see what else it says, but not. It's a beat, so it looks good on that.
That's a huge beat. I mean, they came in positive.
Yeah, and then so you guys are aware. As far as our next live stream, which is Stock Watch Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, one of the main topics is going to be one of Brad's highest conviction stocks, which is Penn. There's still a lot of good earnings next week. The next 2 weeks actually have some really good earnings still, and probably a lot more volatility. We may see a 30% move. I'm saying it. I'm going to find a stock that has a 25-30% move. But Penn is certainly going to be one of the main topics of conversation. Drive Shack could be a part of a conversation, but as far as one of your highest conviction stocks, I think it's about Penn next week.
Yeah.
And then obviously Drive Shack is one of the Chaos Crew favorite ones. And you may want to stick around to that because I am actually not so bullish on Drive Shack, and I'll give my reasoning on Sunday as far as their earnings are concerned. Still like the stock, but we're going to go over all those details on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
That's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out and being a part of the crew and being part of the stream. Get that thumbs up on the way out the door to help show support for the channel. And before you leave, if you hit the join button, that's to subscribe. You can become part of the Chaos crew and get our daily watch lists, access to my portfolio, trade alerts, the Discord group, all that stuff. If you guys want to check that out, it starts at $4.99 a month. It's a cup of coffee for a month for all of that stuff. So hit the join button next to subscribe. Help show support for the channel. We certainly would appreciate it, and that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much. We'll see you for Stock Watch Sunday. Boom. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for hitting the like, guys. We appreciate it. It means a lot.